You're such an asshole.
Asshole Consulting, go there if you got questions, because we got answers as long as you got money. And don't worry, can you give me a cut? No, I can't give you a cut in price. Sometimes we have special asshole sales, and it's minus 20 off. You get to pay an extra 20%. This young man writes, he's 39. He writes with the second question. I've been dating a single mother with a son now now 15 years old for about 8 years now. The boy's real father committed suicide about 9 years ago. Okay, so you came in there and saved the family, basically. I know maybe it was a stupid, bad idea to get involved, but I do have to say I have grown to love them both. Initially, Mom was understandably very protective of having any guys around. Given the circumstances, I took a very casual approach to our relationship. It has worked well for us for many years. Good. The boy now somewhat looks up to me as a role model and a quasi-father figure in a lot of ways. The biggest issue I noticed from the beginning was that Mom was a total pushover and the child was basically becoming the man of the house. Mom has no skills and discipline, and this has always been a big issue with me. Many times I have struggled to institute a system of discipline in the household at Mom's request, only to have it blow up every 28 days or so when Mom is ruled by hormones and feelings. Fuck, dude, no! Oh, God, you walked into a hornet's nest. Mom gets very emotional and stressed, gives into the kid's griping and bitching, and he ultimately gets his way every time. Mom always says it's too hard to be consistent because blank, fill in the blank, or some other lame ass emotive reason. This vicious cycle goes on ad infinitum in this household. Needless to say, the situation has convinced me to stay away for longer and longer periods of times on my travels and visit Mom and the kid less frequently. Every time I visit Mom and the boy lately, I immediately get disgusted and nauseous by the backward situation. I have to question why I still attempt to help out at all. You're starting to come around. Only took 8 years. I'm constantly being criticized by the mom for being extreme in my viewpoints and lifestyle. And this is one that you like? She's got some nerve lecturing you when you are doing charity. Now, I understand she's a widow, which is one of the rare instances that you would forgive single mothership. But she still has some gall lecturing you about your choices in your lifestyle. As if she's entitled to it. But she is the epitome of a corporate slave, which is extreme behavior to me. Right? Who's right? Who's right? I mean, really, you're the one that's right. You don't have to worry. You're not answering to anyone. You're self-employed. Which is extreme behavior. My opinions and insights are respected less and less, and intimacy it has dwindled to zero. Oh, fucking get out, dude! This is gonna be a no-brainer. The kid has bad failing grades in schools and no sense of responsibility or respect for himself or others. I can't blame him much. That poor black kid, he came from a disadvantaged background, so I can forgive him for taking a shot at me with that Glock. Well, they don't own Glocks, they did get a revolver. The kid's all right, because the kid has it, even though the kid's a fucking douche, he'd probably go to crime, and he's lazy, and he doesn't listen to authority, and he's going to go nowhere, and if I were to hook up with the mother, then I'd have to pay for him, but it's all right, because his dad committed suicide, so we should never hold the kid up to any standards. We should just let him become a piece of shit for the rest of his life. I can't blame him much as he's only 15 years old. Mom has basically trained him to make emotional decisions to avoid logic and reason if it feels right. Why do you love these people? And basically act like a woman in a boy's body. I'm completely serious when I say he runs the household. He does this by means of emotional manipulation of his mother. This puts me in does this go on for much longer? This puts me in an even tougher spot where I'm basically castrated if I try and take a stand on anything. The kid sees me institute disciplines, the rules get followed for a week or two, then Mom gives in to his manipulation and whining, and ultimately the kid gets his way. This undermines any sense of consistency for the kid, and I think he will respect his mom less and less as time goes on longer and longer. I really do care for him and love them both very much for most of the time. Oh, it's love. So fuck it. Fuck yourself. You love them. Love conquers all. You're the epitome of this rule that I'm more thinking about, and I'm being serious about that for it's an equilibrium rule, like the conservation of mass law, equal and opposite reactions. I think it applies not just to laws of gravity and physics, but economics, social, like for every good thing, To get that good thing, you must sacrifice, and it must be a bad thing. And this is like where you got this great, here's what's going to torpedo you. Less and less time. Less and less of the time, I feel like I could really help the kid out with his future if mom would allow it. Even lesser of the time do I feel attraction to this woman because I feel more and more emasculated in this situation. Well, it's not, it is kind of you're being emasculated, but you let it happen. Look, she won't even stand up to him. You won't stand up to either of them. And oh my God, imagine that. Without a fucking man with a dick around, the whole fucking system's going down. But you wouldn't want to hurt their feelings. I know. You feel, because the poor kid, his dad died. You know, that's really sad, the kids. So let's just not hold them up to, because this really works well in minority communities, right? This works great over in Wyoming and Natrona County, over in the trailer park. Because we know that without a strong father figure around, things go wonderfully well, right? You read the internet, the manosphere. It seems glaringly obvious to me that change must be made. I'm pretty sure there's nothing much to salvage here, but I would like some third-party advice on this situation. I've always succeeded in everything I've ever wanted to achieve in life. I see this as one big failure. I'm not used to fail. Okay, look, dude. This is not a failure. Okay. What's different between everything else you've tried in life and this one? What's the one variable that's different? Land surveying, you go, you study, you get your certificate, you start a company, and you go survey land. If you look at all that, the variables are land and education. They're not humans. Okay? It's like school. Everyone knows I got straight A's in school, but then I went in the real world and I didn't do as well. Well, why? Well, because now you're dealing with humans in the real world. It's an artificial environment. Well, not an artificial environment, but you're not dealing with humans. You're not dealing with entities that are sentient and have their own opinions and have their own minds and have their own thoughts and have their own agendas. A piece of land doesn't have an agenda. It just needs to be surveyed, so it's not going to give you shit. So you're not failing in this regard. You're running into people who are assholes. You're running into people who are selfish, I wouldn't say spoiled, but certainly just assholes that I wouldn't even want, even an asshole wouldn't want to hang out with them. So I wouldn't feel any shame or guilt because people have to make their own choices. You're like, oh my God, I failed. Well, this was not under your control. You don't control other people. This isn't a game. This isn't a video game. It's not a puzzle. This isn't something that's finite. You try and you finally figure it out. I figured out the formula for nuclear fusion. These are two human beings that are emotionally ruled. They do not abide by logic, and you think you're going to control it. Good luck. Good luck. I would feel no guilt. Seems glory love is and I'm not used to failing. I really wish I could give this kid some stability in his life, but I may need to move on for good. And that will give him the hard, crushing reality and stability. Look, he's not listening to you for 8 years. This is so simple. This is so fucking obvious. I hate people's emotions. Your goddamn emotions always get in the way. Oh my God, so let me take my brain out, flush it down the toilet. Oh, how do I feel? Stop fucking feeling and look at this. You've been at this for what, 8 years, and the situation has not improved. And you guys do not. The mom doesn't hold the line to him, and you don't hold the line to me. And there's not a penis in this situation or this formula anywhere. So let the real world. It's too late now. The kid's 18. The kid's got to go out there and get the shit kicked out of him by the real world. And slowly and surely he'll figure it out. By the age of 30, he'll read through the manosphere and the internet. Maybe you get him bachelor pad economics. Maybe you get reconnaissance man. Maybe that'll guide it. But you're done. You've done more charity. You're the Lord's angel. But you're done now. Nothing's going to work. Let the real world handle it. And it's going to be a longer, more painful lesson. But you're not going to be able to do anything here. Because you stand up and you collapse. She stands up, she collapses. So it's done. It's over. Question, do you see any logical reasoning to deal with this relationship dynamic? Yes, leave. And let it be very clearly known why you're leaving. Even if it is only 4 days a month on average that I spend with the mom and kid. Yep, dude, that's your free time. And you could spend it doing things that you want to do. If so, what would you do to better the situation? I'm not joking you. The solution is better for all of you. You leave. You be very clear. Not mean, but you be very clear to the mother. And you say, I'm gone. I'm leaving. You're not, this is not, I'm not, because here's the reason why. This kid is going to become a liability. if it isn't one already. He's not going to graduate from high school with good grades. He's not going to go on and get a career. He's not going to go out and become a tradesman like you. He's got no hustle. He's going to be living at home. And then here's the other thing you got to worry about, like, oh, well, I've been kind of a father figure for this kid. What if the courts over in Colorado say, well, you took on a fatherly role. You owe him child support. So you explain very clearly, and you make that very clear. I was no father at all. No one would listen to me. Of course, if you were providing financial support, you might be fucked. But the solution right now is saying, I'm sorry, I'm done with it. Because you're not even physically attracted to the gal anymore. So, I mean, that's right there. And you'll love the kid. If you love the kid, you'll start being a fucking real man and beat his ass by leaving. All right? Stop bailing this kid out. If so, what would you do to better the... Yeah, leave. Leave. And say, I'll come back when that kid... because it's what, 3 years? I'll come back when he's got a job and he's actually supporting himself. Maybe. But you go do your thing now. You're 39. Come on, you make decent money. You should be able to go out and find another. Or just, heck, you're in Colorado, man. Go hike and enjoy life. Just enjoy. Take those 4 days and do something fun with it. But absolutely, you got to leave the situation. You're not going to solve it. It's hopeless. It's too late. This is stuff you had to be working on 8 years ago to lay down the law. You didn't lay down the infrastructure. Now everybody's fucked. So leave. Anyway, that's the best of luck I got for you. Toodles.